Welcome in to this special edition of the DGD Podcast. Saturday has come and gone, and 9 times them dogs have beat them Vols. Keon, we have got an absolutely fucking loaded show tonight. If you're in the comments in the YouTube section, make sure you're liking this and subscribing. We've got too much to talk about. But first things first, I need to stay hydrated. I got my bark here with me. Obviously, by the way, you see down below if you're viewing this, go to dgdpod.com/bark. Hey, stay hydrated. You needed it after Saturday, Keon. Our folks at Bark Performance going to get you and keep you hydrated with all that good nutritional stuff. It's better than that. It's better than Powerade, better than Gatorade. Letting you know now, dgdpod.com/bark. Get 10% off your first purchase. Can't we jumping straight into this? What a fucking game Saturday. What a game. I'm going to let you take it away first. What are your takeaways from that game Saturday?
So first and foremost, to all of the Georgia faithful, to all of the Georgia fans, foreign and domestic, we have a motherfucking dude at quarterback. Do you understand me? A motherfucking dude. I don't think people understand. Okay, so let's, and I know, Rob, I might be doing the order of this completely wrong, and if so, I am sorry, but I gotta say it. Going into a game like that on the road, you're talking about, 146, 47, 48 decibels?
I don't know if it was that high.
No
I do
false
think it
start
was.
penalties.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know it was loud as shit. That's for sure. No, the 0 false starts, that's a testament. I'm telling you right now, that's a perfect representation of how well we simplify things and execute on the road. Because I genuinely think that just about anybody else is going to get a false start penalty or at least, something. So the fact that we didn't get any procedure penalties in that regard, I think it's remarkable for sure. But I want to touch on this because I want to pose the question. This is what we're going to start off. This is the question. And if you're in the comment section, let us know yes or no on this. Did Gunner silence the doubters, Keon? That's the question I'm posing to everybody tonight. Because what we just saw Saturday at 3:30 in Knoxville, Tennessee, was a kid with limited experience go on the road to arguably one of the most hostile environments in college football and just eluded that fire, passion, energy that Kirby has preached all off season. And I sat there and I watched the toughness of that kid. And to me, that right there, that performance, the fact that he was able to hit key plays, just remarkable plays, 3rd down, 4th down, when you needed it the most, stand in the pocket, take some shots, deliver some strikes. In my opinion, I think that should silence the doubters. That's just me.
Sold out stadium.
I want to pose this. I want to pose this to you, though. Keon is currently doing something here.
No, so I just looked it up. So it turns out sold out stadium. You're looking at over 101,000 fans. I'm still trying to find something that gives me the decibel levels of which it hit. But it was insane.
So in the meantime, Keon is, I'm assuming, doing some digging here to answer the question that's been posed. So if we trying to make sure we got this, though, the question is, did Gunner silence the doubters? Right. Listen, I think this is a huge question because honestly, this fan base is pretty torn and it has, and it always will be, it feels like, on quarterback play. So I think this is important to hear. Keon, are you good to go with your answer?
Yes, I am. You ready? So, ooh, I'm sorry. They said 137 from what I'm seeing. But so my answer, did Gunner silence the doubters? Did he silence the haters? Absolutely. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if you don't like Gunner at this point, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you're talking about your first road start. You go into a hectic environment, 101,000 people there, damn near 102,000, screaming, going crazy. Half of your offensive line isn't even protecting you. You're getting murdered on half of your deep field shots that you're taking. You're stepping into the pocket, you're stepping into the throw, and you are executing. And honestly, let's jump to it. That 4th and 6, gotta have it. Win or go home. There's no other play here. And what do? You drop it right in the bread basket for London Humphrey for the go-ahead touchdown to send, and then you execute the 2-point conversion, which then sends us into overtime after Tennessee's kicker misses the kick. Ice water in his veins. Like I've been telling you ever since we came back from the Notre Dame game, the playoff game, this dude is an absolute baller. He's a gamer. And to be all the way honest, for all of you that still hate on Gunner Stockton, understand there's not 5 SEC quarterbacks right now in college football that have been able to lead that drive, that would have been able to win the game the way how Gunner executed all throughout the game. You're talking about 23 for 31, 8 drops, or let me not say drops, 8 incompletions. 8 incompletions through what, 5 quarters? You throw for 304, 2 touchdowns through the air, 1 rushing. You're not going to find better execution than that right there. Like I said, you're not going to be able to find me 5 SEC quarterbacks that have been able to do that on their first road start. And he went out there and he executed. He went out there and he did it. If Gunner Stockton didn't silence the haters, if you can't believe in that, you just can't see. I don't know what else to tell you. Because at this point, I mean, what more can you ask for the guy?
Yeah, there was just too many big plays. He answered all the things that we talked about going into.
Oh, Gunner Stockton can't throw downfield. What about the first fucking play of the game, Robert?
First play, 60 yards to Kobe. Yeah.
Here you go.
That should be noted right there. I'm gonna tell you this though, Keon, and I have a feeling somebody's gonna try to use this to bounce back from this, but I'm not gonna sit here and take the he didn't have to do reads, this and this like that, right? Tennessee simplified it by going man coverage on those crucial downs. That's a whole different story, right? The fact that you were able to take shots, create explosives, and win the ball game. Let's be honest, win the fucking ball game, right? You're down 8 with a couple minutes left. You're down 8, and it's fourth and 6. Like, the game is over if you don't connect this. So the pressure of that in a fan base that's obviously hostile, you're in enemy territory, right? 100,000 plus, and you hit that. To me, that's the iconic play. That it's kind of early, but as it stands right now, I'm going to make the call that I think that play, the 4th and 6, is the iconic play that people remember Gunner by at his time at Georgia. It, to me, reminds me, Keon, of It reminds me of Stafford's throw to Mikey Henderson at Bama.
Yep.
Just had that feel. You felt the energy even from the TV screen. You felt the energy just go. That was to me an I'm him game.
Yep.
There should be no question, and I'm not trying to hear the argument. I'm not trying to hear the debate. Gunner is your quarterback. There's no debate. There's no debate. He's too important for this team. We sat there for 2 weeks and we were questioning why we're not seeing the things that we saw against Notre Dame, stretching the field vertically, things like that, right? You combined all of that into that performance, and let's be honest, Keon, you needed it from him to win that game. You protected the football outside of a strip sack. That's it. You protected the football. You were accurate with the football. I think he only had 6 incompletions, 6 or 7.
No, I think it was 8.
Either way, it was a good. And you threw the ball 30 plus.
Yeah, 31 times.
So that's a damn good percentage on the road.
Yep.
Listen, everyone is sitting there for all off season, Keon. We heard people hyping up Arch, people hyping up Lagway, people hyping up Klubnik. And we were trying to tell people, I think we've got ourselves a quarterback. That shit was answered Saturday. Shit was answered Saturday, and it wasn't even close.
It wasn't.
I think it was emphatic. It was just emphatically answered for people.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I say for the Gunner Stockton haters, if you don't believe, if you can't see it, if you can't see the dog that's in him, if you can't see the gamer that's in him, to be quite honest, you just can't see.
Yeah,
that's it.
I think there was one interception that Puglisi came in at the very end, which I want to ask you about this too, because I've got some theories that I want to pose. Gunner goes out at the end of the half. Puglisi comes in to take a deep strike at the end zone right before the half and gets picked off. So that's your interception, if you will. I think Kirby Smart learned from last year, in my opinion. I think the theory is that he learned from last year. You have to hold the ball and let it get downfield and develop. It's not worth risking your quarterback, especially your starting quarterback. No. I think that's there. However, there's an argument that maybe Puglisi can just throw it farther, and maybe that's another reason to give it a better shot. However, when he threw it, there was a situation where it didn't even get to the end zone before it got picked. So I'm curious, but I think they're trying to protect Gunner before the half. And honestly, rightfully so. You're down 4 points heading into the half. No harm, no foul on that interception. They made a good return, didn't get it all, right? Which obviously at that point, it is what it is. So, yeah, I think protecting Gunner, you're going to need to do that. And honestly, if Puglisi is tasked with throwing a Hail Mary and he does it every time, I'm okay with it. You just let him go out there and sling the fucking pill, period. That's just what it ain't going to hurt us. It ain't going to hurt him. So I was glad to see Kirby make that call and let Puglisi go for the shot. Obviously, I don't want to risk injury on anybody. I don't want to wish injury out on anybody, but I don't want my starting quarterback to go on a play like that again. I don't think we would be able to suffer through that. That'd be rough. That'd be rough. Star Wars Dog in the building, dropping the socials. Says we got a quarterback, but boy, do we need a right tackle. Keon, listen, we've talked some good shit right now, but I think it's time we talk about the ugly part of this game. One of them being the right tackle spot, buddy. That shit was rough. I think you're muted.
I am here to tell you, right tackle was shockingly awful. I mean, that shit was bad. And like I said, Gunnar Stockton stepping into throws where he knows he's about to get killed and was getting leveled. Like if just like I checked out, for those of y'all who don't know, go check out Brooks Austin, the film guy, real ball knower. Real ball knower. Certified ball knower.
For sure. Yeah.
He even said it, man, and I couldn't agree with him more. I'd sit down and make that whole damn team watch that tape, man. I would watch. I would have the whole team watching every single throw that he made, where he had to step into it, knowing he was about to get rocked, just to show the team, hey, look, this is what toughness looks like. This is what getting the job done at all cost looks like. Needs to see this more from everybody, but especially at the right tackle position. And boy, the defense. Woo.
We'll save that, but I will say this though, right? So you start off with Ernest Green, and it's obvious, man. He is not right, and I think there's something injury wise. I think he's not healthy.
No, not at all.
In that type of game, you can't afford to be playing hurt people, in my opinion, especially at a tackle spot. So you see Michael Unai go in there just not ready for the moment, to put it nicely. I just don't think he was ready for the moment. There was communication issues, just didn't know what he was doing. So I think the road and the moment just may have been too much there. For most of the game, you're rotating in guys, and guys are just getting beat to hell up on the right side of the tackle spot, man. Then Bo Hughley comes in, thankfully comes in and holds it down, solidifies that right tackle spot. If you really go back and look at that 4th and 6 from the tight, you'll see Bo Hughley clean protection there on that dot to London Humphreys. So I thought it was very, very much needed shot in the arm there at the right tackle spot. And if I'm looking at moving forward, I'm putting Bo Hughley there and just letting him get some run.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm running with him for sure. I mean, and that's the thing. Got the Birdcage. What's going on, Birdcage?
Yeah, you've got to get that squared away. I know it's on the road, and you've got the bye week now.
Birdcage, that's right. Shout outs to Rashay. If y'all aren't already, go check his stuff out. Also, shout outs.
There you go.
Jalen Walker getting the sack.
I got that little sack last night. Yeah.
Yeah. They beat the hell out of Minnesota.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I'm looking at it this way, man. Like, you've got to figure out that right side. I feel like the left side, and I feel like the center position is obviously squared away. Juan Gasson is going to be playing. The question is it going to be right tackle, right guard? I don't think you can really go wrong if you put Gaston at right tackle, Donnie Glover at right guard, or Bo Hughley right tackle, Juan Gaston at guard. I think either one of those combinations I think is winnable for you. I do question, though, are you going to rotate Donnie Glover in? Because I feel like Donnie Glover's earned that. And I hate to say this, but who's been pushed down behind this? Calhoun.
Yeah.
I came in thinking Calhoun was going to be an impact player, and we through 3 weeks, nobody's talked about him for some reason. It feels like it's weird. Feels weird. But it's business here at the University of Georgia. And Donnie Glover's apparently doing enough to get trusted. If you're on the road early playing, yeah, you're trusted. So you've been doing stuff right.
Shout out.
Being honest there.
Yeah, shout outs to Dontrell. Shout outs to Bo Hughley. Both of them teamemates.
Yeah, they played at Langston for like years, man. I think Bo's a little bit older. I think maybe a year or two older. But they teamed up at Langston Hughes. Now they're teaming for Georgia. Are arguably blocking the side, the right side. So I think that chemistry is nice for them, though, for sure.
Absolutely.
Keon, I want to stay on the offensive side. Damn, does it feel good to have a fucking run game?
Oh my God, I missed it so
Like
much.
we knew through 2 weeks, we felt good about it. But this, in my opinion, this game solidified it. And I'll tell you right now, the opening drive death march solidified it and stamped it and said, hey, Georgia's got a run game. Watch the fuck out.
Yeah.
Watch
Yeah,
out.
we're back toting that pill, baby. Keeping it real. RBU is
keep
back.
in mind, you ran, Keon, you ran the ball for over 200 yards with 4 linemen in theory.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
imagine what this run game looks like when the whole offensive line is all firing.
When it's squared away, it can get real nasty. Keon, I want to pose a question to you. Out of these running backs, which one stood out the most to you? If you can answer that. Was there one that stood out to you the most?
Well, I think for me, I love what Nate was able to give us. I also love what Dwight Phillips was able to do out there. Josh McRae getting the go-ahead touchdown. The Never Say Die Dogs, man. I'd have to say, if I had to pick one, Josh McRae, that final play, baby. We put that ball in your hands, and you.
It's what he came here to do, right?
That's it.
Get them dirty yards, man. Get them dirty yards. You took the good one from me, so I'm going to try to be entertaining here and find another one. But the good thing is, all of them had good games. So
all of them.
The touchdowns be damned. You took mine, Keon. But I'm going to go with Dwight Phillips here, man. I thought Dwight Phillips ran good. And one place in particular that I saw him make told me that it's only a matter of time before we get that home run shot. And I mean a home run shot. It was a zone play just off just in between the tackles, I think it was. And he goes and defies the angle for number 2, maybe. Number 2, he defies the angle. I think that might be the play that he actually went out on that Rye's sitting here talking about. We'll get to in just a second, but defies the angle, right? The linebacker thinks he has the angle, and in general probably would, but Dwight Phillips shows the speed running right through, makes a miss just because of speed right there. So I'm looking at this moving forward. Obviously, I'm not getting too far ahead of ourselves. I don't want to do that, but I'm just getting this feeling that you start to see the potential for home run shots in the run game. And I think Dwight Phillips is your home run hitter. For sure. He reminds you of that James Cook speed, but faster.
Yeah, honestly.
And we haven't had that, Keon. We haven't had that in a while. I think Nate Frazier's probably second there with that. Mm-hmm. I just don't know if he'll be able to hit the home run speed to really pull away when it comes to SEC talent like that for long range shots. But Dwight Phillips looked good, and honestly, in space though, man, making guys miss. I loved what I saw from Chauncey Bowens. I have to bring his name up because he looked really, really well. Real good running. But and you sit there and Cash Jones. I thought Cash Jones did an excellent job standing in there in pass pro and blocking. I thought he did an excellent job there, giving Gunner enough time, right, to make these throws. So, and Star Wars brings up a good point. Nate Frazier compared to Sony, little nuts like Swift, going back to that first run, Keon, in overtime. Boy, did that have the feel for that Rose Bowl.
Man,
I thought he was about to hit. I thought he was hitting for the touchdown. I was losing my shit. Not gonna lie. I thought he hit it. He got knocked out at like the 2 or 3 yard line, but not gonna lie, I thought that was thoroughly impressive.
Absolutely. I mean, what a great game that he showcased for us, and I couldn't be happier for him. Born runs like Terrell Davis and blocks like him. Hey man.
That's what you come to Georgia to do, that shit, man. Like, yeah. Gunner's running ability. We have to account for Gunner here in the run game too when we're talking about it. I thought I love the response, right? You have the situation with Joey Aguilar, right? starting the scoring off, excuse me. But then Gunner marches his team down just as fast and punches it in himself as well. Utilizing his feet, man. I thought that was, again, that's something we've talked about. If you've been listening and watching us this season so far, we called this even before the season started. It's going to open up running. It's going to open up the run game. And sure enough, you get that touchdown, and yeah, he makes plays with his feet, right? There's several plays where you just know last year you're going down for a sack there, and it's in spots where you can't have them. But he makes plays, and it might not be the best situation because there was one play, Keon, I don't know if you remember this, but he's running horizontally, and you see Noah Thomas behind the two defenders, and the defenders are creeping up toward him. And part of me wishes he would have been able to just dink it over, because I think if you do that, it's a shot. It's a touchdown. It's a touchdown, wide open. I think it comes in time. I think it comes in time.
Guy Rye. He's saying, if you could pull the comment right there. I'm telling you, man. Hey, listen, Rye, when you go back and rewatch and you actually see how many of those throws he had to step into knowing he was about to get smacked and still did it and still delivered and still completed the pass.
Fourth down to Zachariah Branch in the middle. I thought that was another one.
Got to
move
tip
the
the
chain
cap.
before the strip sack was one at least.
Right.
I thought that was probably one of the hardest hits he took, though, to be honest.
And just like I've said here, I've said it on Twitter Spaces. You can't show me 5 SEC quarterbacks that have been able to do that.
Not at this point. Not at this point. I'll listen to debates just to be safe. But yeah, I'm with you, Ken. Through 3 weeks, I'm with you.
There ain't 5. I promise.
Yeah, Brad Pitt. Not to be mistaken with Brad, but Rod Rob on a milk carton. Yeah, I think he's still coming through with the hamstring injury. Got to get back into game shape, I would imagine. But I would love to see some Rod Rob, because if you can add another back into that right there.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this before. You've got 4 to 5 backs right now. That's not mentioning Rod Rob. If you can get him a couple totes too in there, can you envision, Keon, what opposing defenses throughout the season, if these guys stay healthy, coming down and seeing that death march because you rotate 4 backs in a row or 5 backs, right? Shit's dangerous, Keon. It's dangerous. Go Dogs, Keon. Is this comment, is this worth us switching over to the defense? Do you think it's worth switching over to the defense yet, or we still need to talk offense?
I do want to say this about the offense.
Okay.
Oscar Delp, you had a game. You pull that comment.
Which one?
Right, the one with Oscar Delp.
Gotcha.
Gotta say, this was. You ever seen, like, I don't think people understand how much Gunner got rocked on this play. Like, he let that ball go, and once that ball got off the tip of his fingers,
got drilled. I don't know how he got it off, Keon. I don't.
I'm talking about your feet is coming over your helmet. Like, this is it was a licking he took, and the courage that it takes for a quarterback to do that, to just step into that and to execute on that. Ice water in the veins. Also, Oscar Delp, hey, man, I appreciate you for catching the ball and going on the run. You can't kick people in the face.
Hey, run through a motherfucker's face mask. You big enough to do it.
I mean, I don't know. I just figured we got to say that now, because apparently because when he did that, you know, it's crazy. When he did,
clicked immediately.
Darnell Washington against Oregon.
See,
remember when he tried to hurdle the guy and he ended up kicking Buddy like dead in his chest?
He did.
I'm like, yep, there it is.
Hey, Keon, while we're talking tight ends real quick.
Hit him with the Hadouken kick.
Hadouken. While we're talking tight ends, Lawson Lucky.
Man.
If you find this, hold on. If you find this, all right, look straight at me. But you blocked your ass off Saturday.
Yes, you did.
Period. Saturday, you blocked your ass off. I respect the hell out of that. Respect the hell out of that.
I appreciate you for being the bouncer
because he was the catalyst for a lot of these plays. I mean, if you think about it, he was the catalyst for one of the plays when Zachariah Branch, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong on that. That may have been Kobe. I don't know. No, that was Dylan Bell and Kobe. Excuse me. There was a play where one of our runners took a shot and got down the field. I think it may have been the first run in overtime, but that's just one play. He was blocking his ass off all game.
Yeah.
Amazing job blocking.
Yeah.
I don't want that to go overlooked, period. I don't think you can. Keon, another game, another Zachariah Branch touchdown off of a screen. Bobo haters. Hey. You don't hear a knock, but either way. Guys, these screens are working. What changed?
Being able to block on the perimeter. Being able to block on the perimeter.
Perimeter blocking. And it might also help having the best person with the football in his hands. And arguably the country, definitely, in my opinion, the conference. Zachariah Branch is electric. And this is one of these plays of, again, third down. They're doing cover. I think cover 1, maybe cover 0. Had 3 over there. You have 2 perimeter blocks, and you get and the number and the safety over there closest to the nickel hesitates a little bit, and that's all it took because the two blockers get on, boom, hold, sustain the blocks, and he gone.
Man, look.
Yeah, it feels so fucking good to have a burner for a receiver that is a legit threat when he has the football in his hands. It's so fun to see that.
And you know what's the great thing about this game is like Gunner being the film junkie that he is. You know, as soon as they got back, you know, he was watching film. He was trying to break down the tape. So, and I think another thing that Georgia fans need to understand, this is only going to make him more comfortable. And now you have a bye week. You come out of that bye week, you play Alabama at home where the crowd is going to be on your side. Dude, and that place is going to be rocking. Come on. Yeah. Come on.
I just get this feeling, Keon, and this is my last comment before we move over to the defense because we need to take our time a little bit to talk about that too.
Yes.
Gunner Stockton is just a gamer. You know, we had talked about, like, why are we not seeing Gunner be Gunner what we thought through the first 2 games? And then he comes out and just does what we thought he was going to do, what he did all the big games in high school, right? Like, I just think that he legitimately just is a gamer. In these big moments, I think he lives for that shit, man. Like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But it's not like he's scared of that moment. I haven't found a moment yet that he's truly scared of.
Right.
And so that to me is another feather in the cap. I think that should kind of quiet down some doubters a little bit too. It's like that's arguably the biggest moment to date, and you lived up to it and then some. So
and then you're talking about a guy whose his first career start was in a playoff game where you throw for 250 against first round DBs. You walk out with 2 touchdowns. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. And then you add this game where you go 23 for 31. You throw for over 300 yards, 3 total touchdowns, 1 rushing. Come on.
I mean, now you get to go. Offense goes for 500 yards, Keon. 502 total yards. Like, think about this. 44 points on the road, and you come away with a win. That doesn't sound like Georgia football. Now, I'll tell you this. That right there is going to be a catalyst moving forward for these. To me, I think Georgia can sit there and play any style of game and come away with a win, and I feel confident. Because If you told me, Keon, leading up into our preview show, if this game was going to be in the 40s, and both teams would score 40 plus, I'm telling you right now, I would not feel confident with us saying we would win that damn game.
I'm with you.
If Tennessee, excuse me, if Tennessee, we were told that Tennessee was going to score 41 points, buddy, we chalk that up as a loss and figure out what the hell we need to do to get ready for Bama. All right, but you pulled away a win despite everything else. And here's where, Keon, this is where we switch over to the defensive side of the ball, because here is my moment. Joey Aguilar, that Tennessee offense is legit. It's legit. I'm not listening to the people talk about it being gimmicky right now. I'm not doing that because I saw what I needed to see to know that ain't a gimmick offense. That's an offense that can do it all right now. They've got pure receivers. They don't have just fast guys that can run. They've got pure receivers. They can run the ball, and they've got a quarterback that's accurate and is not willing to he's not scared to take shots downfield and be accurate. That offense is legit, folks. It is. And if anybody else from an opposing fan base finds this clip, they're still on your schedule, watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Yeah.
Because Joey Aguilar cooked that damn defense. Even with the adjustments we made.
Right.
Even with the adjustments we made. But I want to talk about the defense overall, Ken. I want to get your thoughts on the defensive performance because there is some good. There is some good there on that defense.
Let's jump into it. I definitely agree. Yet again, to the opposing teams that are still on the Tennessee schedule, look at it, keep it in mind. Before you say, hey man, y'all lost. They are still on your schedule, and the further down we go through the season, the better they're going to get.
They're going to get healthier too, by the way.
That is true. And on top of that, let's jump to the defense. Let's talk about these 2 interceptions we got.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got one, I think it was.
No, we got 2.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah, because you had Janelle and I believe
KJ.
And then KJ. So shout outs to Janelle. At least on my end, I had a lot of questions when it came to Janelle, when it came to passing downs, but he's out here showing, hey, look, I can not only come downhill and strike some shit, I can also pick something like a 5-year-old.
Okay. Keon, what made it interesting here is the adjustment that whoever did this on our defensive staff, I tip my cap to you because Keon, we had talked about this. We thought that this would be the game where you saw Daniel and Ellis and then Dalen at the slot or in the nickel. Right. And it was not the case. They actually moved KJ to star and they put him at midfield safety right there and Jonell. And it honestly looked better than probably what we would have put out there. And so this is why we do a podcast, and that's why they make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just being honest.
Right.
Just being honest. But I thought that was a perfect adjustment and maneuver there. And it worked out in regards to the pick. I really thought it was nice to see that. But yeah, that pick was nice. He and Keon, one of the things that really you saw Jonell flash here. I don't know if you paid attention to the whole play there. He's backing up, right? And his body angle is facing the play.
Yeah, he baited him. He
100% baited him. Back, and then he turns straight. And then as soon as he did, Aguilar throws it. By that time, he cuts right back around. It reminded me of that Ed Reed play, right? Not 100% because Ed Reed kind of did this little spin around and run. But no, he backed straight and then cut back and just picked it off. And I was like, God, man, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. So Aguero got to give the tip the cap there, man. That was a beautiful pick. And KJ just had it fall into his lap, which was awesome to watch. That's also part of the adjustments we made because there was a good chunk of that game, Keon, where after Aguilar gets off to that hot start, right, you're down 21-7 in the first quarter. Whatever Glenn Schumann and company did, they started adjusting. And when they did, buddy, things slowed down because he starts off, I think, 14 for 14 and then goes 10 for 22 with 2 picks to end the game.
Man.
So it got rough. It got rough there. Which I guess it's time for us to talk about this. Chris Brazel, I was not familiar with your game, sir. God damn, what a day. Have a day. 3 touchdowns, $177. Yeah, have a day.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Chris Brazel was one that didn't catch me by surprise, and the only reason being is because he trains with like the best wide receiver coach I can honestly, or the best wide receiver trainer I can honestly think of, and that's Margin Hooks. Shout outs to Margin Hooks. So for me, um, once Margin told me that he was training with Braswell, I was like, oh shit. But yeah, he had a hell of a game. Definitely capitalized. Ellis, I get it. First road game. He didn't have a good game. I'm going to be the first one to tell you. Ellis did not have a good game. But you're tripping over yourself in the back pedal, and that ball floats. Like, here's the thing, man. At a certain point, you just got to tip your cap to the other team, because guess what? You can be a phenomenal player yourself. Your opponents, especially once you get into SEC play, your opponents got guys too. They got dudes too. So shout outs to Braswell for executing on that. Shout outs to Joey Aguilar, who delivered that while the pocket was crashing. I'm just gonna tell you that kid got ice water in his veins too, dude.
Keon,
like
I'm gonna do this, and I hope we talk in spaces a lot, and the Tennessee fans, I hope they find this.
I do too.
Wait, boy, did y'all win that quarterback chase?
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Oh my God, bro! Bro, like
it's bad. It's bad.
And let me just go here and say this. I mean, I've said it on Spaces, and I'll say it here. I was one of the people originally who thought, who is this Joey Aguilar guy? I've only seen him playing in 2 games at App State. And for me, it was okay. He's decent. He might look all right. But this dude came out balling. When I tell you, they not only won the trade, I'll be damned if they don't.
Light years better. They got light years better on offense, period.
Bro, and it's not even just quarterback play, because you also got to give a shout out to their wide receivers and their wide receiver coach. Mm-hmm. You're looking at that running back room. You got 3 guys in rotation that they can, and they're all different runners. So for me, Staley was the main one who I liked. Staley might be my favorite running back out of their room. I mean, hats off.
That's also, Keon, I'm glad you brought Staley and the running backs up, because they ran the ball effectively too. They ran the ball into second and medium shots.
Mm-hmm.
So they get you. So the key here, Tennessee gets you into second and medium, second and manageable, right? For them to be able to take those shots, right? They were running 6-7 yards a clip, getting into second and 4, second and 3. That's when the shots happen. We saw it in 22, right? This time you have connections. And so this is what it's like when those deep shots that Hendon Hooker were throwing. This is what it's like if those were to hit.
Right.
But I will say, though, and I see the comment here from Go Dogs saying Ellis is our highest ranked recruit ever, right? 100. I don't remember if he was. I'm going to tell you this. I think this is a game in which Ellis and Daniel both should grow tremendously from this.
Absolutely.
Ellis Robinson through IMG didn't really get attacked. No one ever went out there and said, I'm hunting him. Think about it. Dude, that IMG squad, Keon, had Elias Ricks on the opposite side, and they didn't go to Ellis.
Yeah, they were trying a lot.
This was the first game, probably since God knows when, if ever, that a quarterback looks out and says, I'm hunting him, and goes and does it. The key here is to work on timing the ball, seeing the ball. That's a key to this offense. They're going to hit those shots, but you've got to track the ball in the air. I understand it's easier said than done, for sure. Trust me, I understand it is not easy. Not easy. But if we want to get better, that's what we got to work on. And I think Daniels honestly was just a little bit unfortunate luck there, because I felt like he jumped it, and I think honestly he may have hit it to Razzle, honestly.
Yeah.
Because when he threw that, I was like, that's a pick. And then it just didn't go to Daniel. It just went. So I'm not gonna be mad about it. But honestly, if I had to make a statement here, if you stumble and fall, hey, take the 15. That's a veteran move. Take the 15. All right, you can live with that. You don't want to take the 60-yard shot. Get it? It's over with now. But there's a lot that these guys learn from, right? Ellis found there was some panic there. There was for sure some panic. But you have to know that it's coming your way some more, because Alabama saw that. Ole Miss saw that. Florida saw that, but they'll get the picks. We'll talk about that in just a second. Mr. Booker T with the five time. Yeah, sign me up for that. All right. Neither here nor there, though. I thought that was fun. But
absolutely,
there's some things to work on. And listen, shout out to Tennessee for capitalizing and making plays. They've got dudes on this offense. It showed. We can't sit here and act like Georgia ain't got a good defense. Don't get it twisted, folks. Just because you gave up almost 500 yards does not mean that defense ain't good. Does not mean it's not good. I think both can be true. I think because you saw this. We saw 2 picks. We saw havoc plays for a while. But I have to give credit to Tennessee for punching back. They threw haymakers at first. We weathered the storm. And it's the way the game played, right, Keon? Right. They throw haymakers right out the gate, 21-7. Boom, boom, boom. Georgia responds to get it right, 7-7. But then they go 21-7. Then Georgia clamps down. Gets it right, 24-21. Bam. Response. Boom. 28-24. And then you just keep seeing that back and forth. And that's what, to me, that's what makes this game specifically an instant classic in this rivalry. Period.
Absolutely.
Period.
I mean, you watch 2 Giants fight it all the way through, and
2 playoff teams without question, in my opinion.
Without question, and you're seeing one come out show that they're, honestly, at the end of the day, it comes down to the fact of Georgia wanted it more, and they showcased that. So yet again, hats off to both those to both teams. Shout outs to the Dogs for getting the win. Shout outs to Gunnar Stockton for going out there and handling business, doing what he needed to. But I'm gonna tell you this. We cannot end this podcast without talking about how shitty DJ Lagway was. Oh my God. I ain't ever seen
Keon's been waiting for this. Keon's been waiting for this. Hey, we're going to do this. We're going to let Keon talk about DJ Lagway, and we're going to get back to more of the defense, okay? So this is your little segment, Keon. Keon, hold on. Wait a minute. Keon, I'm going to let you do this. We're going to make this little segment right here extremely fast. Guys, this is Keon's Barking Back.
Welcome back. This is our segment of Barking Back, and I gotta say, if there was somebody I saw this weekend that just didn't know what to do once them dogs started hunting for them, it was DJ Lagway, going 1 for 5. Yes, 1 for 5. 1 touchdown, 5 interceptions. That is insane. I've never seen that on any level of football. And for him to go out there, but then again, let me say it like this. Florida fans, y'all sat up here and told us all off season, oh, well, DJ's practicing. He's doing this. He's doing that. Meanwhile, ESPN, On 3, both coming out and reporting, hey, look, he's got this injury. He's got that injury. He's missing this practice, that practice. What really, I look at what DJ's performance was outside of bad was it was him really getting those reps that he missed all summer. All of those summer reps that he missed, all of those fall camps and spring ball that he missed, getting that continuity with the wide receivers. You saw that they didn't have it. Plus, on top of that, Billy Napier, you had Jaden Ball. Why aren't you just running the ball? And just relying on the defense? You're making it too difficult for yourself. And I think that's going to be the reason why they end up canning Billy before the end of the year, is because it's not common sense football. You're not playing complimentary football. And DJ, man, you got to get better. That was horrible, like awful. Shock and awe, shockingly awful. Like, I didn't think that you would come out there and play like that. Credit to the LSU defense for yet again getting those turnovers. I mean, you're watching him throw in the triple coverage. Like, it was bad all around. But that is our segment of Barking Back.
As we get back to this Georgia game, Keon, I have to bring it up. Raylan Wilson.
Boy.
Let's talk about that. Because early in the game, on the first drive, gets crossed over, right? Kind of gets leaned into the he looks to toss sweep, right? The truck tossed in the back, but you got the shallow cross underneath, crosses his face, and it just catches him off guard for the touchdown, right? Or for a big play, excuse me. To then go back, and this is how you can tell this team adjusted. His eyes got better, and he made arguably one of the best hits we've had all season so far, and just absolutely lays into Aguilar. Aguilar was hesitant after that. He took that shot, and Brooks, you talked about Brooks Austin earlier. Did you see the photo that Brooks took of that?
Yes.
Oh, that shit was disgusting. Oh,
absolutely.
My goodness. You could like you like the facial expression and everything from Aguilar. He knew that hurt. You could see it. There's no hiding that. That picture shows 1,000 words. Buddy, that had to hurt. And you could hear it from the TV tape. Even Herbstreit, I think it was Kirk Herbstreit even was like, I'm just gonna let this play out. And you heard the hit. Testament to how physical this game was, by the way, too. Keon, linebacker play, I thought it was very good. Chris Cole, freak, as expected. CJ Allen, Keon, too. I'm telling you right now, if he ain't in the finalist conversation for the Buckets, I'm gonna be upset because he's playing. I think he's
gonna win it. I think he's gonna win it this year. I think he's gonna win it this year, and then I think next year you get into the Chris Cole, the Justin Williams conversation. But I do think he's gonna win.
Dude, CJ's playing lights out, in my opinion. It's some good fucking football.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk D-line. There were times where I thought that they needed to get more pressure.
Right.
But I have to give credit again to Tennessee's offensive line. They did a really good job limiting the pressure by also Joey Aguilar getting it out early. I think they did a really good job of getting the ball out early, right? Making us right. It felt like a typical Georgia defense. You can get pressure, but it's still not fast enough because teams are getting it out of they're getting it out. I think you get one sack, if I'm not mistaken. I know one got called back, but it's just one of those things where, in my opinion, and there was some good play. Like, listen, Georgia's defensive line was playing good. And they were moving, they were resetting the line of scrimmage. They just didn't get home, right? So I want to preface it, right, by saying I thought the D-line played really well. I just think that it would be nice to get a little bit of the get home. You know what I mean? Get home.
Absolutely. I mean, the most you can really do is try to set up a plan for you to execute there. I do think in that circumstance, you're looking at guys who, you're looking at that Tennessee offense. They were getting that ball out quick. So even on those plays where they were able to, cause some pressure, try to hurry Aguilar up, get him off the spot, I think that showcased, what they were able to do in those moments. And honestly, you got to understand, moving forward, we're not going to play another offense that fast.
I'll tell you right now, Keon, this was one of the telltale signs for me. I want to ask your opinion on this too, but how did the defense? I thought the defense did an excellent job managing the tempo, right? Because
Yeah.
again, you said
Yeah.
it. We're not going to play a team like Tennessee the rest of the season, in my opinion. They do tempo. Tennessee is back to that tempo. They can move fast too. The fact that we didn't get cramps up, like that many cramps or anything like that, I thought was impressive. And also, we weathered the storm there because they were moving the ball quickly, right? Like there were situations where in the game you saw the adjustment change where like we got caught with 12 men on the field. And then at the same time, the next time you start to see them, we start making these adjustments. And that way we didn't get caught in bad situations. A lot of the times we also saw early on, guys were looking around and got caught off with a quick snap. That changed as well. So,
Yep.
I'm sitting there looking at it like this defense, while we gave up so much, keep in mind, you get these deep shots, and there were multiple deep shots, right? A lot of those yards come off of that. Now, at the same time, they were able to move the ball down the field, especially the first drive, but a lot of some of those, a good decent chunk of those yards, I'm not taking it away from Tennessee. They came on moon balls that were hit and then run in for touchdowns. So the way I look at it is you did a good job limiting drives, right, to not get gassed out. It's not like we had to worry about the death march that we did to them in the third quarter.
Right.
However, I do think, and I think Tennessee schemed this up pretty good, Keon, but I think we need to make sure we're tackling a little bit better too, right? There's some things to work on there. Tackling the football, like open field tackling, we called that out. You've got to be sound in the open field tackling. I really don't think you did a bad job. I think there was only a couple missed tackles, honestly.
Right.
And they played a good, hefty amount of offense too. I don't really see this defense playing bad. I just think it was a product of the type of game. It was a match the whole way through this game. My takeaway, Keon, and we'll do the final takeaways real quick before we end off for the night. My final takeaway from the defense is I think this might be the kind of one-off type of game where I don't think it defines your defense. I don't think it does. And there's so much to grow from.
Right.
Ton, especially in coverage, right? Especially in coverage. I'm expecting, right, now that we've got this bye week too, I think, and we're going to talk about this more on upcoming episodes, trust me, this is the perfect time, just coming off of that game, to build and grow from that. You
Absolutely.
couldn't ask for a better time for us to have that type of game going into a bye week, because now you can grow from it while it's fresh and watch. And I'm curious to watch those DBs and how they mature from that. I really do think so.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on the game before we give game balls? We need to give game balls because it's a Tennessee lost. So it's definitely game ball time.
So yet again, a learning moment for the defense. Good job on seeking the ball, seeing ball, and getting those 2 picks. Got to get more pressure up front, but like you said, I think it's really just a learning experience for the young defense. Also, offense, got to say, hats off, Gunnar Stockton. You balled out, and I'm gonna close that out by saying my game ball for the offense got to go to Gunnar Stockton.
Okay. My game ball, Josh McCray.
Okay.
Josh McCray to end the game. I will say this. I want to give an honorable mention, and I want to see if we both agree on this. Bo Hughley for coming in and saving the day at right tackle.
Yes.
Because we needed that. We played way too long without a right tackle that was playing at a good enough level to really win us the game. And he came in and played and hold it down enough to win the game. So I'm going to give a third. I think we'll both collectively hand out a third game ball on offense for Bo Hughley. But
absolutely.
So you've got Gunnar Stockton. I've got Josh McCray. Hey, that's why you came to Georgia, to win games like that.
Absolutely.
To win games like that. And then Bo Hughley. Now, defensively, Keon, who do you got for defense?
Janelle Aguero.
Okay. That's arguably who I was going to take. KJ Bolton. Yeah. I thought KJ had a really good game. Really good game. Do you see anybody we need to give a third game ball to for this one?
I would say either CJ Allen or Raylan Wilson.
Okay.
You gotta go. Raylan Wilson came downhill and made sure Joey Aguilar knew what it meant to play in the SEC.
Yeah. I want to do this. I want to give a special teams game ball instead of a third defensive. Peyton Woodring.
Absolutely.
Man, coming in
clutch. Yeah, man. Coming in clutch, baby. Yeah,
because
all the
our
field
kicker didn't
goals
miss a
that
field
you
goal to lose
made.
a game.
Man,
Like,
listen.
buddy, it feels good to have Peyton Woodring, man. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
Keon, by the way, we have to bring this up. Old buddy looked shook before that field goal.
Yeah, I was able to see it in his eyes. He wasn't the moment too big, not really an athlete. Like he
I'm not. We're not hating on this kid, by the way. It was obvious. It was a huge moment.
Like he looked scared. He looked scared.
I get it.
But then again, to be fair, his coach looked scared.
Fair enough. Hey, you know what though? I think Tennessee fans need to give that man some credit. They saved him $500K.
Right.
For not storming the field.
Right.
So there's that. Keon, do we have anything before we wrap this up?
Yet again, excuse me. Follow us on X/Twitter. I am Podcast Poppy with 2 eyes, right? Y'all already followed the DGD podcast. Stay tuned. We're going to be having spaces open. I'll probably open a space here in a little bit, but just to recap the pod, talk Georgia football. Stay up to date. Stay tuned. If you are watching this, like, follow, subscribe, do all of the things. Leave us a comment if you like the podcast. If you don't like the podcast, leave us a comment and tell us why we suck. But still, leave a comment.
I'm going to say this here. Before we leave, make sure, folks, to support us by supporting those that support us. DGDpod.com/Bart. Go get yourself ready for a game day. Get hydrated, folks. These folks, it is some good stuff. I've got the berry right here. It tastes great. Tastes phenomenal, might I add. Bart Performance, thanks again for everything. And like I said, get 10% off your first order at DGDpod.com/Bart. Keon, that's all I've got. I think there's still a lot that we've got to decompress from before we turn our eyes on the Crimson Tide. Yeah. So make sure you're sticking around here because we're going to be talking about a lot. We've still got a lot to break down before that game. So make sure you're sticking around. That's all we've got. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, rate, and review like Keon said. I'm going to reiterate that. And with that being said, have a great morning, good evening, good afternoon. We'll catch y'all later. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
9 straight